Hi y'all. Welcome to my YouTube channel, the Gyan Dive, and to my podcast listeners, welcome to episode 2 of the Gyan Dive. This is part 2 of 22 lessons I learned in 22, and I am super excited. So grab your favorite drink. Mine is this protein iced latte, which you guys should definitely make. It's gas, and you hit all your protein goals with it. And basically, you just get a Premier protein flavor, whatever your favorite flavor is. Mine is caramel right now. And then I put espresso shots and syrup and pretty much make it like an iced latte. But I am super excited, and I want you guys to comment what you guys would like to hear in the next episode. So please follow, share, subscribe, and like, and comment. I always wanted to do this, by the way. Alrighty, so we left off at seeing another successful individual is just proof that it's possible for you too. Facts. Preach. So our first lesson for this episode is you can do it. We place limits on ourselves in our minds. See, I think that you can do whatever you put your mind to. Truly, sis. Bro, you can do whatever you put your mind to, and this is, I think, demonstrated by a very popular example, I think, which is that in the world before everyone used to have a runtime of like 4 minutes or more, and then one person did 4 minutes, like ran a mile in 4 minutes, and then after that there were so many people who came up who were able to run a mile in less than 4 minutes, and then it got less and less and less. So I think we truly impose these limits upon ourselves, and you are able to do whatever you put your mind to, whatever. And I've seen this in my own life when it comes to getting the grade, getting the job, getting, just like my self-image. I think like I would put limits on myself by like labeling myself as a certain way when there's no need for those limits, and I just had to know the fact that, you know what, you can do anything that you put your mind to. And I've seen this when it comes to like my dancing or like a sport. Like I've seen this in many cases. So I think this is a lesson that I wanted to share with you guys. Then we have everything happens for a reason. Now, I think a lot of people know about this one, and a lot of people have experienced it in their lives. And I'd like you guys to write it down in the comments, like a scenario that, you've experienced in your life where you exemplified everything happens for a reason. I will tell you my example. This is kind of personal, but when I was in 11th grade, I failed it. Yeah, completely failed a grade in India. And at the time I was devastated. I was like, oh my gosh, like what am I gonna do? This is horrible. We found a loophole wherein I was able to do my AS and A levels. If you guys know, you know, which is like Cambridge. And I was able to do both of those in a year and a half. And then I was gonna go to Rutgers, and which is like a college here in New Jersey. If you know, you know. But if I went with the other school I was in, and I actually just did my 11th grade and 12th grade there, my credits would not transfer over. But because I did my AS and A levels, they're the equivalent of AP classes here, and I was able to come in with 21 credits. Yes. So this is, I think, an amazing example of everything happens for a reason. Like, even if it doesn't seem like that, like at the time, I am telling you, I was devastated. I was just ashamed of myself. I was like, I want to die. Like, it was not a good look. But now looking back at it, I'm like, maybe this happened for a reason, Maybe everything happens for a reason, even if it seems shitty as fuck when you're in it. So that was my example. Now, we have one that's super relevant to today's society, today's day and age, which is, I know myself, so it doesn't really matter what anyone else thinks of me. as you know, we today in today's day and age, we have our entire lives out there for the world to see and for people to comment on, especially if like you're an influencer, right? So I don't know, if you were to listen to every single comment that someone made, or just in like real life too, like if someone says to you, "Oh, you look too fat," or like, "Oh, you don't look good in red." Let's say it like it's anything. "Oh, you're like dumb," right? Like if you were to listen to every single person who commented on you, and half the people don't even know you, by the way, like especially the ones on like social media and stuff, if you were to listen to every single person who commented on you or who told you something, then you would completely lose your identity. So like if you know yourself, if you're firmly rooted in your identity, and if you know who you are to your core, then it should not matter what anyone else says. Nothing should affect you. So let's say, like, for example, it's a fact, right? I know this. I'm brown, I'm Indian, I know this. So if someone were to call me like Hispanic, I'd be like, the fuck? I am Indian, okay? Like, and it would not bother me because I'm like, this is who I am. So that's like an example, but I think if you're firmly rooted in your identity, and if you truly know who you are, then what someone else says cannot affect you. And this is why I think you should really take the time to get to know yourself truly, especially before you get into a long-term relationship. You should spend time with yourself, go on solo dates, which I still do, by the way. I love spending time with myself, and truly get to know yourself. Like, who are you? What do you like? What do you believe in? What are your opinions? You need to truly know who you are, and then, be firmly rooted in that and make that your identity. Then we have everything that I could ever want is within me. Now, this is something, again, that you see a lot of people go through. Um, so I feel like a lot of people are looking for things outside of themselves to fulfill them. So whether that's a relationship, a job, a friendship, like people are, or like even material things like a bag or, jewelry. They're looking for these things outside of them to fulfill something that's within them. Now, I don't believe in this. I think that everything that you could ever want is within you, and you don't need to look anywhere else. So, like, especially when it comes to like love or friendship, like, I think you can be your best friend, and you have the love within you that you are looking for outside of you. And once you are content with that, and once you like truly are settled within that, then whatever you're looking for will automatically come to you, ironically, when you're not looking for it. You know how everyone says that, right? Like, those things come to you when you're not looking for it. I think that's so true, especially when it comes to love. And I mean, I've experienced that in my own life, which is a story for another day. But I truly believe that everything that you could ever need is within you. And once you know that and you go out in the world with that sense of abundance, that like I'm abundant and I'm love, I am, I'm everything, I'm joy, like I have everything I could ever need within me, and then you go out in the world, you attract the best opportunities, the best kind of people, and the best experiences. So I truly think that that's something that everyone should have, like a mindset shift kind of that everyone should have. Then we have, remember that you can always come home to yourself. Now, I also think this one's super important because if you make your home another person or another thing, when you lose that person or thing, because, that could happen. That could definitely happen with anyone who's not you, because you're the only person who is going to be there no matter what. Other people, you never know, man. You never know. Even if they say they love you, even if, like, let's say it's even your parents are going to die someday. So truly the only person who is going to be with you throughout this journey of life is you. So I think if you have that mindset that, like, no matter what happens in the world, no matter what happens in my friendships, no matter what happens in my relationships, I can come home to myself, and I will ultimately always be there for me. And there's nothing I need to be scared about, and I don't need to be scared about losing anyone. I think that is an amazing, like, mindset to have. And I think everyone should have that. And that's definitely something that I learned through my various heartbreaks and challenges that I faced. So, yeah. So good. Then we have, remember that I'm more than this mind, body, and intellect. Yes, guys, you heard that right. You're more than this mind, body, and intellect. I think in today's day and age, so many people put their self-worth and their whole identity into how they look or how smart they are, right? You literally think like, oh, I'm this like skinny, hot person and that's that. But guess what? If you make that your identity, you should also know that you can lose it at any time. You're gonna get old. You know, things can happen. Like, let's say, God forbid, but let's say you get disabled or something happens to your face, right? Like, you go through like a skin disease, maybe. So if you make your whole identity or like who you are, your body and your mind, your body, which includes your body and your face, that is not a good look, sis. Like, that is not who you are, right? Like, and especially if you're spiritual, I think you know that you are more than this body, mind, and intellect. Even your mind, right? Like, let's say you listen to everything that your mind says and you think that you are your mind. You identify with the thoughts that your mind throws at you. And we are wired for negativity. Like, human beings think of so many thoughts, and none of them are not the best for you to be thinking about, and not even true, not even close to true, but we do think about it. So if you were to identify with that, like, let's say your mind says, you're ugly, you're not good enough, you're, I don't know, like, your mind says a billion things in a day, like, oh, that person's so much prettier than you, you will never be successful. Like, we've all been there. Like, sometimes our minds can be your worst enemies, but if you were to identify with your mind and listen to every thought that your mind throws at you, you would never be happy. And if you think that that's who you are mistaken. And that's something that I had to learn because I've grappled a lot with depression and anxiety, and I would like truly believe everything that my mind would say about me. Like, I would believe, oh, like, you know, you're never going to be successful or you're a bad person. And depression is such a thing where like you truly believe these things, right? But here comes the point, like, you're more than your mind, body, and intellect. So I think something called the soul exists, and your soul is the thing that observes your mind and the thoughts that are in it. You are not your mind. You are the thing that is looking at your mind, looking at your thoughts. Yeah. And as for your body, like, you should not identify with your body. You should not think that your body is your identity. Please. I think you should know that your soul is you, and your soul can never be destroyed. Shout out to the Gita. It says it there, like, your soul is indestructible, and it can not be created, nor can it be destroyed. So, you are the soul. That's the coolest thing ever. Then we have, sometimes things don't go according to plan for the best. Here, now I've recently experienced this, and this is a lesson that I just added in. When I was in college, I thought, oh my gosh, I'm gonna get out, I'm gonna have a job, I'm gonna be doing this and that. Guess what? I got out of college, didn't have a job. I got out of college, I was literally bedridden for 3 months. I could not move, I could not talk, I could not go anywhere. And I was heavily depressed, and I had a lot of anxiety, and it literally like wasted my time. I literally was wasting my youth. Like, I was just like in bed all day long, not meeting anyone, not going anywhere, not enjoying anything. And I'm so grateful to have gotten out of this, but it was not my plan. Like, truly was not my plan. But am I happy now that things happened the way they did? Yeah, looking back at it, now I'm like, you know what? If I got a job right out of college, I would not be exploring my passions and other creative pursuits that I am now. Like this podcast, for example, like I would have never done that if if I would have gotten a job, you know? So I'm grateful that I didn't. Like, truly, I was just actually talking to my dad about this yesterday, that I'm so grateful that I didn't get a job right out of college so that I could do this. So I think that's something that we've all experienced again, and sometimes things don't go according to plan, and I think that it is for the best. And I think that whatever's meant to be will be. That's another thing. And I think you should trust it. Okay. Okie dokie. Now we have trust the flow of life and go with it. I think this also touches upon the last point, which is you really need to trust that, and I don't think anyone's life flow is the same, like anyone's life path is the same. So you need to trust your own unique flow of life and kind of just go with it. Ride the wave, man. Like, don't try to fight it. Don't try to push against it. Just go with it and see where it takes you, you know? I think we're all so caught up in, like, this is how life should look, or, like, this is how I should be doing. This is what we make plans 10, 20 years down the line. Girl, you don't even know what's going to happen tomorrow. So I think there's no point in making, like, long-term plans. Sure, you should have them, but, like, you should also just go with the flow, enjoy life, you know, just go with it, and it will take you to a beautiful place, you know? You never know where you'll end up. Then we have, you don't have to conform to societal norms. Do what your heart desires. Now, this point is so relevant to what I'm doing right now. According to societal norms, I am a failure currently. Like, I'm out of college, I don't have a job, living with my parents, like, failure, right? But I am doing what my heart desires. Like, I've always wanted to have my own podcast, which I'm doing right now. And I'm doing other things. Like, I'm gonna have my dance videos out. I love to dance. I am writing more. You know, I'm doing all these things that what I truly want to do, what my heart desires. And I think that makes life so fulfilling to me currently, even if I'm not conforming to societal norms, like, which I'm not. I'm currently a societal failure. But I think that everyone should do it, you know? I feel like everyone has so much talent. Like, you have so much hidden talent that you never use. Why? Because you're sucked into the corporate machine and you just spend your whole life doing what society expects of you, that you don't take the time to see what your talents lie in, what your interests lie in, and truly pursue that. Because I think if you did that and if you created something for yourself, you would be so much more happier, so much more fulfilled, and you would make more money too. Because I believe that if you do something that you truly want to do, then you will automatically make money. Money will flow to you. So that's something that I think you should look into. And for the last lesson, for the 22nd lesson, we have, life is short, so don't spend any moment doing something that you don't want to be doing. I think this hit a lot of people because I think a lot of people are just doing what they don't want to be doing. Truly. Like, do I want to be doing a boring ass job? No. Am I doing it? Yeah. So I think a lot of people do this in various aspects of life, whether that be career, whether that be friendship, whether that be love. Like, even like marriage, like, you don't want to be doing it and you be doing it. Like, why? So I think life is super short, guys. Like, you guys should live it to the fullest. You guys should only be doing what you truly want to do. Don't do something out of fear, out of a lack mindset. We don't do that. So I think that is super important. And with that, we come to the end of my first YouTube video and my second podcast for my podcast listeners. And I am super excited to be on this journey with you guys. I am super excited to be recording more podcasts. I want to truly dive into knowledge. So please let me know what you would like to hear. I think I will be doing more episodes where I'm just like talking to the camera and like talking about self-development, stuff of that sort. And to touch on knowledge and the whatever we'd like to acquire, I'd like to do like guest podcasts, like with the guests here. So like let me know what you guys prefer, what you guys want to hear more of. And thank you for joining me. Have a wonderful weekend or wonderful week wherever you're hearing this. I will try to churn out these videos at least once a week for now. And I am so happy. So thank you guys, and I will see you in the next one.